Hello everybody, welcome to a vintage cube draft. A new season just dropped, so we have some new cards like this one, which seems fine, but not that good. I mean, it snowballs pretty quickly, but we'll be taking a Mock Ruby here. Excellent first pick, of course. Pyrogoyf is a good red card that we're passing, so not the best signaling, but still, leading on a Mock Ruby is always a good start. Okay, interesting pack here. I think in terms of raw power level, Shieldred is probably the strongest card. This card is just busted. It's at its best in combo decks where you play it alongside cards like Wheel of Fortune, but it's just good on its own too. Chandra's a solid 4-drop, but definitely worse than Shieldred. I wouldn't consider taking Chandra over Shieldred unless I already had a Mox Ruby pulling me towards red. There's also Raucous Theater, and Sunbaked Canyon as good lands. I think I'm going to take a Shieldred, though. We are passing Necromancy, but Shieldred and Necromancy are both good black cards, but they're not really good in the same style of deck. Now we see a couple choices. There's Exhumes. So whoever took the Necromancy will be happy. I kind of like taking just Oliphant here, though. Setting up to potentially be some sort of Rakdos deck. I mean, I know we just passed the Raucous Theater, but this sort of fixing is good. In terms of power level, I do like Felia quite a bit, but I don't love taking Felia and passing Scrubland when we just took a good black card. Yeah, I'll take the Oliphant. Okay. Fourth pick, Lightning Bolt is a pretty nice sign. I mean, there's also Kolagon's Command and Burst Lightning. Maybe we can wield the Kolagon's Command, but I think we do take the Burst Lightning. And moving into red-black, when having passed Raucous Theater, is a little dicey. Like, if Raucous Theater and Kolagon's Command both get taken, then this lane could be a little cut. But I still think Bolt is the right pick here. Also worth noting, there's an Imperial Seal. If we wanted to go in more of a combo direction, we could take this. Like, if I already had Wheel of Fortune, I would consider taking that because of the strength of the combo with Shieldred. But we don't have that, and let's just take the Lightning Bolt, one of the best red cards ever. Whoa, okay. So, a couple really good black cards and a Flame Slash. Also, Time Spiral, actually, which is kind of interesting. Could take that. It's worse than the other draw 7s, in my opinion, though. Just like 6 mana sorcery speed plays are pretty tough to make work. Um, so, yeah, I think I'm leaning towards not taking that. We could take Flame Slash and try to wheel one of the black cards, but the problem is Dark Sedgemoor, which is just kind of bad, especially in black-red. You really want to be in black-green for that. And Dark Confidant doesn't look great alongside Oliphant. I mean, we could still play it. Might just take the Barrogoyf. Like, I think it is better than Flame Slash. We could take Flame Slash and try to wheel the Bob, but Barrogoyf is really strong. I think we do take it, even though we're unlikely to see Pyrogoyf on the wheel, which would be nice. Now there's Lilion of the Veil versus Unholy Heat, both good cards. I think this is a situation where it's just like, when in doubt, take the cheaper card. So I'll take the Unholy Heat. Very good start. Would love to see that Raucous Theater come around. Alright, I mean, black and red both look pretty open. I think we just go towards black-red mid-range. And I'm going to take the Voidwalker here. It's a little tough on the mana, double black, but, like, A, it's still not that tough. You know, maybe you can't play it on turn 2, but that's fine. B, we could get something like Urborg. There's a couple good red cards, or fine red cards in this pack. Nothing that's that exciting. This is probably the one I want the most, because it's, at worst, a very good sideboard card. But I think I will just take the Voidwalker here. Strong pickup. Ooh, good pack. I like a Braid, but I think I'm going to take the Pyromancer here. Just a really powerful card. Good threat, board presence, card draw. Kind of just does everything you want. If there was like 13 cards in the pack, maybe I would take the Harvester of Misery so it could wheel one of the red cards, but we're not seeing anything else from this pack. Like, I would take Harvester plus a Braid over the Pyromancer, but we're only getting one card no matter what, so I'll take the Pyromancer. Okay, there's Shadowy Backstreet if we wanted to go Mardu, but I think I'll just take a Fatal Push. Good pickup. I mean, the spells look great here. 3 cheap removal spells and a bunch of really good threats. No fixing is the biggest concern, and especially, like, from a signaling perspective, if Kolagon's Command gets taken, we might be fighting with someone for Rakdos, and I really like to be in the open lane as much as possible. Like, if you're not wheeling your... Oh, let's go. Okay, that's great news. Both because the land's good. I mean, it's just good on its own. It lets Oliphant get black. And then also from a signaling perspective, the fact that all 7 of these fellows saw Raucous Theater and did not take it is great in terms of Rakdos being open. Hopefully Kolagon's Command comes around too. I mean, Exhume is good with Oliphant, but it's pretty narrow. Like, I would take a reanimation spell that's not symmetric, but I don't think we want to take Exhume. Could, like, hate draft it, but no, it's not an elimination draft. Wastewood Verge is okay. I think I'd actually rather take Generous Ent, though. Like, if we're splashing green, I'd rather do it with a Generous Ent and, like, a Zytor's Proving Ground than with, like, random black green land. But honestly, we're probably not that likely to play either unless we see something like Minsc and Boo. Love to see that. Kolaghan's Command, I've heard people say that it's not as good as it once was, and that may be true. Like, 2 damage doesn't kill as many things these days, but I still think it's definitely a good card. And again, from a signaling perspective, just to see a Rakdos card come around is awesome. Okay, I'll take a Sedgemoor Witch. This card is kind of sweet and modern. I don't know how good it is in Cube, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm taking this. Like, we have a possible outs for a green splash, so we could play that combo. All right, last few picks weren't too helpful, but very, very good start. We have 2 pieces of fixing. We have a Mox, 3 1-mana removal spells, 4 good threats. Just really like where we're at. Okay, interesting pack. The best card is Swords to Plowshares. We passed the white piece of fixing, though. There's also a fetch land, but it doesn't really help us. I'm not too interested in going for something weird like Jace. I think it's really... Oh, Berserk. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So they are going with a lot of, like, power doubling stuff. I'm a little skeptical of that. I actually haven't looked at the changes, so that's interesting, but probably underpowered. We'll see. At any rate, for this pack, we're looking at Overlord of the Baelmerk and Fiery Confluence. Overlord is pretty sweet. It's not at its best in this deck, though. Like, you want to be playing Overlord in black-white, ideally, where you can flicker it with stuff like Felia and Flicker Wisp. If you're just casting it for 2 and then just waiting a few turns, that's, fine, but not great. I think I will take the Fiery Confluence. It's just a slightly stronger card, in my opinion. A very strong card, actually. We now have great ways to kill artifacts, and it's also a board sweeper. There's even a chance Overlord comes around. Oh, wow. Okay, well, this pack is insane. There's a Time Walk. We could try to splash it. I would probably just take it speculatively unless there was a One Ring. But I think the One Ring is just phenomenal here. Like, this style of deck, black-red in general, you have the best 2 colors for removal. You have some of the best threats. Your big thing that you're lacking is card draw. I guess there's, Season Pyromancer. But this just answers that problem so well. If you can just curve, like, discard spell into removal spell into One Ring, you just basically can't lose. And this deck has Shieldred, which is an insane combo with the One Ring. Makes you just gain tons of life and really puts the game out of reach. Also have Baragoy for life gain. So I think the One Ring is insane here. I would take the Time Walk if I had good blue fixing over the One Ring, but I would take the One Ring over almost anything else. And given that it doesn't require us to splash another color, I'm going to take it. We would play Faithless Looting or Magnus, so those are both interesting things to look at on the wheel. There's also Underground Mortuary, which could be interesting if we want to splash green, even a Hierarch here, but let's take the One Ring. I will note that our curve is a bit high. Would like to get some more, would like to keep the curve down. Okay, interesting pack. Talisman of Dominance is fine. More pseudo fetch lands. Caustic Bronco, Mind Twist, and Generous Plunder are all pretty mid. Mind Twist is not amazing in my opinion. It is good if you have stuff like Black Lotus and Mana Crypt. We have Mox Ruby, it's fine, but I'm not that interested in more expensive cards. What I think I want to do here is just take Dismember, which is another great cheap card, and then maybe try to wheel one of the 2 black cards. Okay, more good removal in the form of Galvanic Discharge. There's also Urborg, which is kind of nice, but I think I'm actually going to take the Hymn to Torok here. We just took a cheap removal spell. Now we have 4 1-mana removal spells. This is a lot easier to cast. Mind Twist is better if you have 5 mana and they have 4 cards in hand. But in general, I like Hymn to Torok more. It's a lot easier to get value out of this card. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay, Reanimate. That's awesome. Quantum Riddler is sweet. I want to play with this card at some point, but this is not the deck for it. Shieldred Edict and Baleful Mastery are good removal spells, but I'm going to take the Reanimate. It's great with Oliphant. Just like turn 1, land, Mox Ruby, cycle Oliphant, Reanimate, and that's just like a 3-ish turn clock. We can also kill their thing and bring it back. We might be able to wheel one of the 2 black cards. And I like that these both hit Planeswalkers. I guess Bolt and Unholy Heat do too, but like we don't have any clean answers to Planeswalkers really, but Reanimate is still too good to pass. Interesting. So there is the Witherbloom Apprentice. Hmm. We have Sedgemoor Witch, and we have a decent green splash. That is a real consideration. If we don't take that, what are we taking? This is fine. Actually, it's pretty good. 3 mana, deal 1 damage to a creature, hit for 4, and then bring it back later. Or 3. I don't know. It's fine. Not that exciting. I would take a good red card over this, but I think I'm going to speculate on Witherbloom Apprentice here. Whoa. Okay, I'm taking. I mean, even Entomb is a consideration. Orcish Bowmasters and then Fire Covenant. These are just all so good. I would take Fire Covenant over most cards, but I think Orcish Bowmasters is so good we take it even over the Fire Covenant. Fire Covenant could come around. I think Rakdos was open, and we saw a late Kolaghan's Command. This is both later in the pack. Like, we're actually only wheeling one card from this pack. So it's very unlikely that we wheel the Fire Covenant, but I think Orc is still so good we take it. And now with Shieldred plus the Orcish Bowmasters, draw 7s are amazing. If we could find a Wheel of Fortune, that's one of the top pickups. All right, there's Watery Grave, but I'm not too excited about that since we passed the Time Walk. Robber of the Rich would be fine, but I'm going to take the Deathrite Shaman. Interesting. So Overlord did wheel, but there's also Copperline Gorge, which is good with the Deathrite Shaman and also enables the potential green splash. Still, I think I'm actually just going to take the Overlord. I don't even have like that much of a desire to splash green at the moment, and like I would take a fetch land over Overlord, but I think I'm just going to take the Overlord here. Interesting. Okay, so we do wheel Faithless Looting, but also the Underground Mortuary. This is much better because it gives us more of an actual green splash. I will take it. We wheel both of the black cards. That's pretty sweet. Which one is better here? I think I actually like taking the Bronco. I'm just not that high on Mind Twist, honestly, at least in this deck. Nice. Urborg is a good late pickup. Wheel both of the black cards. I think Shieldred Edict is better. I'm not that excited about Grave Titan. I'll actually take a Shifting Woodland speculatively. We don't have that good fixing. I don't think, I think our color is opened. My guess is there just haven't been that many black-red lands opened yet. So really hoping we can pick up some in pack 3. Last pick, Waterlog Grove, okay. So yeah, I mean, we'll probably play Underground Mortuary even if we aren't playing an actual green splash. Alright, interesting pick. Recurring Nightmare is very strong, and well, it's pretty strong in general. I don't think it's great in this deck, though. I mean, it's not the worst. It's good with, like, Orcish Bowmasters. But I kind of actually just like taking a Bayou here. Yeah, not a very exciting first pick, but I think this is what I'm going to go with. And now we can honestly just play Generous Ent. Oh, okay, so that's a Time Twister. That makes me want to splash blue with both Shieldred and the Orcish Bowmasters. If we stayed in, well, I guess it's that versus like Fury or Duress, which are both really good. And we have no blue fixing. Very close, but I think I'm actually going to take Fury. I would take Time Twister over an average card, but Fury is very, very strong. Yeah, close pick, but I'm going to take this. Going in more of a fair direction rather than combo. Alright, pretty easy strip mine here. Good pickup. I mean, Caracas is even a consideration. Lelia, Detective Phoenix, Deep Cavern Bat, all like okay, but not that exciting. Let's take the strip. Wow, okay. I think I'm taking Thoughtseize here. Wooded Foothills would be amazing. I would take it over almost any spell, but I think Thoughtseize is one of the few spells that's so good we do take it even over a fetch. And at this point, I guess we can just play Generous Ent to find these 2 green cards. What is this? So another one of these doublers seems fine, but not going to be taking it here. Bloodbraid Challenger is kind of interesting. It's a little high on the curve, but I like having escape cards in basically every deck. Yeah, I'll take this speculatively. We might not play it, but we could get there. It's just like kind of weird. I guess this is the card you want to splash for, though. Like, we don't need green until the very late game for either of our cards that are kind of green. which makes it a lot more splashable. We are going to have to make a lot of cuts, though. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'll take a late Inquisition. Rancor is pretty sweet. Slickshot Show Off does not look good in this deck. Yeah, definitely taking Inquisition. Love having Inquisition plus Thoughtseize, and maybe we can even wield Duress and have a really strong discard package. We're gonna have to make a lot of cuts here, which is a good place to be. Wow, there's a Hull Breacher. We really could go deep on the draw 7 stuff if we had gone in that direction. There's Commercial District as another surveil land. Tarmogoyf and Fear of Missing Out are fine. I think I would take the land over the Tarmogoyf, so it's Fear of Missing Out versus Commercial District. How much do we care about a green splash here? Not that much. Honestly, Fear of Missing Out looks pretty good. And we also have no fetches, so maybe we just don't play Deathrite in the main deck. Cut all this stuff and just take Fear of Missing Out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Should be more streamlined. Especially since we don't even have good black-red fixing. So that means if we had great black-red fixing, we could afford to play 1 or 2 forests, but we don't have that. So yeah, we'll move on. Now we'll take a Preacher of the Schism. Pretty good pickup. Card that I was not that high on at first, but it's risen a bit. I still would not I would never first pick it. I'm not thrilled to play it, but in this style of deck where you have a bunch of removal and you're sort of a mid-range deck that's looking for cheap threats that can snowball, this card can get the job done. I'm not that high on Evora. I'll take Collective Brutality. I don't think I'm going to play it in the main deck. It's just pretty inefficient, but we can bring it in certain matchups. Time Twister Wield, but so did Duress. Let's just take Duress. Now, this gives us a really good plan against the combo decks. Detective's Phoenix actually looks pretty sweet here. It's very good with Oliphant. And it's also good with Baragoyf. Yeah, I'll take this. Gonna have to make a lot of cuts, though. Take the Greenland. If we ever play against Reanimator, we'll bring in our Deathrite and the green cards. I'll take the green card. Take the green card. Okay, so our fixing didn't really get there, but I think this deck is excellent still. Do have to make a few cuts. I think we can afford to play 16 lands. Maybe that's a little greedy, but we have Oliphant plus Nox Ruby, so that means we need to make 2 cuts. Maybe we start with Duress in the sideboard. It's not good in every matchup. And we already have 2 other cheap discard spells. I do think I like having 4 1-mana removal spells. Fatal Push is worse without any fetches, but I think it's still good. Overlord of the Baelmerk could be the cut. It's pretty good, though. Especially when you have stuff like Detective's Phoenix to mill over, Fear of Missing Out, and Unholy Heat as reasons to want a full graveyard. Voidwalker is a bit tough on the mana, but I think we play it. I don't think I want to cut him to Torok or Fear of Missing Out. This deck looks awesome. Maybe it's Detective's Phoenix, but I think this card is actually great. I mean, it's nice with Dismember, nice with Oliphant. Gives us a way to use the graveyard when we're not playing the Bloodbraid Challenger. I'll cut the Overlord. Close pick. Close, but I think that's the right move. So if we do this, this gives us 6, 7, 8, 9 red, 7, 8, 9, 10 black. Yep, seems great. This deck is awesome. Black-red mid-range. See you in round 1. On the draw for round 1. Don't like being on the draw, but I love this hand. Lots of cheap interaction to curve into Baragoyf. Alright, there's our land number 3, which we did want. Let's Thoughtseize. Ooh. Okay, so this is a weird hand. I mean, it looks like they're playing Flash if they have this Mystical Tutor, which is pretty scary. I kind of want to take that. I mean, I don't love taking cards like Mystical Tutor, but I think we need to do it. Minsk and Boo, I'm not too worried about. We just need to be careful. And we have Lightning Bolt, and Bolt just destroys Minsk and Boo because you can kill it with the trigger on the stack. I want to take Malevolent Rumble because they only have one land, but I think given that like it's going to be very hard for us to beat Flash Torsten, we have to take the Mystical Tutor here. If Flash wasn't in the cube, I would take the Malevolent Rumble. So now they'll play Swamp Rumble. And presumably take one of these lands. Oh no, they took the Broadside Bombardiers. Interesting. Alright. So I'm going to play Mountain so we can hold a Bolt in case they have like an untapped red or green source for the Minsk and Boo next turn. Awesome. So in response, we Bolt. I mean, Lightning Bolt is just like so good here. Now they just get a hamster out of the deal. We trade 1 mana for 4 mana. They also lost their spawn. And now their hand is pretty awkward, especially if we can find a strip mine for their Ketria Triome. I think I just want to get Barrogoyf down. Seems better than Caustic Bronco, especially because they have the Bombardiers. Tapping 4 mana. That could mean something other than the Bombardiers. Okay, no, they just play that. Don't really care. They hit me for 2. This is a very high volatility card. Like, people say it's one of the top, like, 20 cards in the format. I don't think it's that good, but I do think it is strong. But, in this spot, it just does nothing. I mean, it dies to a 1-mana removal spell. Let's attack. Could evoke Fury to guarantee that we have a card to bring back. But I think there's going to be chump blocking, so I'm going to just attack. I guess we should have surveilled first. Digging deeper into our deck, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Surveil now. Shieldred, that looks good. Then I will, I think, just Unholy Heat this and get the Bronco down. Pass. Very good position for us. These are great threats. We have a great threat on top. Still a good hand. Their hand is super awkward. I'm going to let them chump if they want to. We draw the 1 ring. Okay. Get back Seasoned Pyromancer. Then I'm going to play Shieldred just to pressure them. Like, the 1 ring is good too, but this means we can probably just kill them next turn. Now we might be able to win even through a flash. Fair enough. That's pretty good. I think we might still be ahead, but that is one of the scariest things they could have hit. Wait, especially now that they have they hit a red, they put in Torsten, or yeah, they can just find a red source and then also put in Torsten. This could be dicey. Oh, whoops, I clicked out of cards like it was a Torsten, not an Atraxa. Whatever. They do find untapped red source in the Bloodstained Mire. Man, I guess I wish I had killed that Noble Hierarch. So they have Cobra, Order, Abrade, and they played the Verge. Take 8, yep. I don't have a way to kill the sneak attack. Still feels like we're in a good spot, though. Let's start by attacking with everything. Bring back a Bowmaster is not a bad one. They're at 8. Is it better to kill their Hierarch or get down to 1 ring? I think I'm going to get the One Ring into play. I mean, the Hierarch would be nice, but I like getting protection from everything against the sneak attack. Tap, draw. Ooh. Ha! So that can bring back their Atraxa or their Bombardiers. Pretty insane draw. I think I'm going to bring back their Atraxa. We're going to have to discard a lot of cards to hand size, but that's okay. So let's grab instant, artifact, land, sorcery, creature, enchantment. We're going to have to, discard a lot of cards to hand size, but that's alright. We'll put the Mox Ruby into play. I guess I'll just bestow this now on Barrogoyf. Then go to discard and pitch land, Inquisition, I think. And now we have protection from everything and an insane board versus them having sneak attack and a bunch of cards in hand, including Torsten. So, pretty insane game. We're both going off. We'll see what they're able to do with this sneak attack this turn. They have 2 red sources. Torsten can find them another red source. We don't need to worry about taking damage, but if they just, like, find Emrakul or something, it could get a little dicey. We also only have 7 cards left in our library, so there's some risk of milling. But I feel like we can kill them pretty quickly. I guess a play I should have mentioned, we could have Furied to kill their Noble Hierarch if we didn't want to discard to hand size, but I really don't care about discarding a couple cards here. And I'd rather save the Fury for other creatures. So, presumably here comes the Torsten. They do have Natural Order in their hand, but Atrax is gone and Torsten's in their hand. Okay, pretty happy to see that. I mean, not thrilled, I guess. Kind of a demonic tutor, but them spending mana to sculpt their hand rather than just killing me is probably good. They're holding a Braid, which doesn't really do anything. I guess we could have killed them this turn if we had just played the One Ring pre-combat. Well, no, never mind. So, finding the Reanimate, if we had just like got back to Bombardiers, we could have killed them. But the Bombardiers the Reanimate wasn't on top of our deck. We found that after milling a bunch of cards with the Barrogoyf. Okay, they're playing a lot of stuff that we don't care about. They might go for the defensive Torsten. Solid draw. Let's go. Swamp. I'm actually going to get the Voidwalker into play because this stops their Torsten death trigger. Then let's go for Orcish Bowmasters to kill the birds and remove a blocker. Then we'll crew the Caustic Bronco. Notably, we do have Oliphant in our deck, so that would just give us a 6 damage trigger immediately. Okay, they concede the match. Is it best of 1? I didn't know that. Well, alright. Yeah, it is a single game match. I didn't realize that. So, sideboard cards aren't too good. Not that we have a sideboard, much of a sideboard anyways. I mean, I guess we're not playing this duress. But yeah, great start. Want to know? See you in round 2. 0 for 2 on die rolls. Hate to see that, but I will keep this hand. It's a little bit reactive. We don't have a threat yet, but I mean, I guess we have this. But I'm definitely not going to mulligan Thoughtseize into Sheoldred's Edict. Hopefully we can find something like Preacher of the Schism. I'll play around Mana Tithe here. Like, you know, kind of marginal, but I think we might as well. We are exposing this to them having a removal spell for it, but I think that's fine. Oh. Okay, pretty strong hand. We have a good answer to... I mean, Sheoldred's Edict is a good answer to their stuff. They do have the days. That's kind of funny. I guess I don't care that much about Teferi. Like, they can draw a card off of it. That's fine. The frog, we would need to shield Druid Edict for sure, but we might as well just make them use more mana. So I'll take the frog. Pass. I guess it's awkward though. If they I would love for them to go turn 3 tap out for Adeline, and then we can just shield Druid Edict, but they probably play Teferi instead. But then we just don't could use our mana that turn, and then the following turn we untap and do it. Let's cast a Phoenix here, I think. Let them daze it. Or maybe we just don't let them ever get daze value. Yeah, that's probably better. Like, that's not the best exchange for them because it's a card that gives us value in the graveyard. So I would love for them to play Adeline, and then we can just end of turn shield Druid Edict. If they play Teferi instead, our mana this turn is wasted. But, this isn't really looking like the kind of game where getting maximum value out of all your mana is important. So we can just lose this 3 mana, accept that, and then go Phoenix, attack your Teferi so that they can't draw a card off of them. They do play the Adeline, though, so we'll just fire off this shield Druid Edict end of turn through the days. I'm deathly afraid of picking the wrong mode on this, clicking sacrifice creature token, but I think because I'm afraid of that, I've never actually done it. Okay, interesting. So if we play the Preacher, they can bounce it, and then we can kill their Teferi. Alternatively, we could just play Detective's Phoenix and get in for 2, and then they have a harder time playing the Teferi. But I think this way, I think I am gonna let the. I mean, Preacher is terrible against Teferi, but I think I'm still gonna let them get this value and then just kill their Phoenix, or kill their Teferi with the Phoenix. If we play the Phoenix, and then they just play Teferi and bounce the Phoenix, I guess it's the same position, but we hit them for 2 damage, which is maybe better. But I do want to try to get this Preacher going sooner rather than later. So forcing they're probably going to be able to bounce this at some point anyway. So forcing it to happen this turn seems fine. Oliphant would be a kind of nice draw because we could just immediately haste the Phoenix, the Preacher. No such luck on that though. So let's just we can't play Fury because of the days. So just cast this Phoenix and attack down their Teferi. Solitude would be kind of annoying here. Not terrible, though. So far, it was 1-for-1 trade. Oh, they do Solitude. Interesting. Pitching Winds of Abandon. So the reason this is kind of annoying is because we lose this permanently. We can't escape it later. But still a 2-for-1. Feels like that's a fine exchange. If they play a creature, we can Fury to take out Teferi plus the creature. Otherwise, we can just get down to the Preacher of the Schism. And either way, they won't be able... it seems like a fine position for us. They pass. Okay. Ooh. So the benefit of playing Preacher is it plays around Mana Leak. Shieldred's more mana efficient, but I don't know how important that is. I guess Shieldred also kills the Teferi in one swing, though, so let's just play that. If they have exactly Mana Leak, we get mega punished, but we haven't seen that. I just don't think that makes sense to play around here. I guess they could also have, alright, Mana Drain, not great. They could also have No More Lies, so there's 2 cards that make this worse. We'll see what they do here. They have a lot of mana. They're holding Daze. 1 card they just top decked, and then 1 other card they've had for a while. I think I'm going to play the Fury here. I don't really want to let them... if we play Preacher, they can draw a 2nd card off the Teferi and bounce it. Best case scenario is they play something like Mother of Runes. Oh, Lingering Souls, huh. Alright, so presumably if they flash that back, I'll just Fury to clean up all 4 tokens. And then, they can cash Teferi in for a card if they want to, but that's not that scary. If they found if their last card is another counterspell, that would be pretty devastating. We don't have Fire Covenant. We don't. I guess we have Fiery Confluence. Ooh, that's a good draw. Not for this turn, but for the following turn. Boom, 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 boom. Fury pretty good against Lingering Souls. So to Fairy bouncing Fury seems pretty weak. They could just cash it in to bounce Mox Ruby, I guess, or to bounce nothing. Or plus it to soak up 6 damage. None of those things seem too bad. Alright, they do bounce the Fury. I guess that means we can't get value off of Fear of missing out. I was kind of hoping to go Preacher Fear and draw a card next turn. Dismember. Okay, I'm going to start with Fear of missing out, discarding Dismember. Like, you know, it's a decent card, but we have Fury, which is kind of a better removal spell, and they have some creatures, but I still think it's fine to do this. Voidwalker, pretty good draw, but I am going to prioritize getting down the Preacher. This is at its best when both players are at 20 life. That's kind of funny. Reprieve, sure. We have 3 card types in the graveyard, so Fear of missing out is not Delirious yet. And honestly, our deck is kind of bad at getting Delirium since we don't have fetch lands, but whatever. We've done a good job of breaking this daze. Next turn we can just go both of these. And we already have a creature in the graveyard, so there's no point in doing that first. Ooh, Barragoyf. Is that better than Preacher of the Schism? Probably is. We can't do both of our 3-drops because of their days. I'll lead on this so that if they play a counterspell, it'll get exiled. And then, yeah, I think Barragoyf is better than the Preacher here. Subtlety? Meh, that's kind of annoying. Probably is worth topping this, though. Then yeah, let's play Barragoyf. I think that's better than Preacher. Both Barragoyf and Preacher are great with Fear of missing out. So next turn we have 2 5-mana plays, either Preacher plus Voidwalker or Fury, depending on what they do. Fury kill Subtlety is a fine line. They know about the Fury, though, of course. Black-red versus blue-white. Classic matchup. I've been on the blue-white side of it much more. No attack is good. Like, it means they don't have a board sweeper, probably. Yeah, I think I will just go for the Fury here. If they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. So now we can send in for 6. This should, if this connects, we're in very good shape because it will give us Delirium and bring back Shieldred. The Wandering Emperor. Okay, that's fair enough. That can take out our Barragoyf. They have another play. Cathar Commando to trade. This is just still a bunch of 1-for-1s, basically. Like, I'm not too worried. They can cash in their Wandering Emperor to get a 2/2 or plus it, and then we can just knock it down with Fury, and we still have a good hand. They know about both of our cards, but that's fine. Interesting game. I love this kind of game. Very interactive. Both players have, sort of swingy, but, not the kind of swingy where you just, need to top deck one card, where it just, your win percentage ekes up and ekes down, and, you make a lot of decisions. Okay, that does actually take me off of playing both of these if we don't draw another black source. Ooh. Okay, let's start by going to combat and trying to knock down this Wandering Emperor. Oh, well, we know we can. We know their last card. Then I'll play the Preacher. And if we draw land next turn, we can double spell. If we draw a spell, we have yet another good tool available to us. So I'd say we're like 75% here. It's funny that both players are at 20. They just top deck a land. We also top deck a land, but the land is actually good for us. So I'm going to play this stuff pre-combat so that we can draw our card off of this before discarding it to the Pyromancer. Oh, okay, yeah. Attack. So let's do this correctly. Put the one where we lose life second. So we make a 1/1, and then we draw a card. Then we hit them for 8. And they're dead on board. If they top deck a board sweeper, we're still in a fine position, but the game goes on. And then, of course, they're just dead if they don't top deck something really good immediately. Lion Sash. Okay, that can become pretty big. And then trade with Fury. Seems like that's fine. I guess we can't use that. Let's just go to combat. Attack with everything. Pretty sure they have to block the Fury here. Math is for blockers, though. Oh, they're definitely dead now. Destroy target artifact, discard a card. Before that, they could chump block here or trade here. Take 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, pretty smooth sailing. This deck is looking great. They can eat some stuff if they want to. I'm not too worried about that. Taking game actions until the bitter end. You gotta respect it. All right, on to the finals. Hopefully we can win a die roll. See you there. Excellent. We win the die roll just in time for the finals. And we have a great hand. I'll keep it. Turn 2 Oliphant or Hamda Torok or Orcish Bowmasters, all of which are just absurdly powerful, honestly. Oliphant might be the most powerful, but it's also less mana efficient. Because we could go turn 2 one of our 2 drops, and then turn 3 2 drop plus 1 drop. So it depends what they do. If they play a 1-drop creature, I'll certainly just orc it. Since it's Divine Top. Okay, let's cycle, grab Basic Mountain. And then I think I'm going to go for turn 2 Hamda Torok because that's that way. Like, we only have 2 black sources, so we can't go. Like, if we go turn 2 Orc, we can't go both of these on turn 3 unless we draw another Swamp. I guess at the same time, just putting 6 power into play on turn 2 might be the move. Very interesting choice. All good choices. I think I am going to him though first. Also potentially clears the path. Like, oh. Are they just going to reanimate our thing now and punish me for being... Okay. Oh, wow. Well, now I'll play the Orc. So I'm going to lead on Swamp in case we top deck another Swamp and can play triple black on turn 3. But yeah, I mean, that's a great exchange. We get like kind of a 2 for 0. They spent essentially 2 cards to put this Bob into play. So at the end of this, traded with Dark Confidant and Black Lotus, and we still get multiple bodies, including something that is pretty good against their Sensei's Divining Top, or at least limits its functionality a bit. This is the spot where not having a Badlands or a Blood Crypt hurts us, but I still feel like we're in a great spot. They just killed my Bowmasters. I'm very happy with that trade. Yeah, I mean, this traded with 3 cards and left us with an Orc. And one of the cards it traded with was Black Lotus. Probably worth just him Toralking now, honestly. Putting them down to 1 card. There's like a old split in Magic where like mid-range is where you disrupt them first and then play a powerful threat. You know, like Jund, like Thoughtseize, then bolt their thing, then play Tarmogoyf. And the other option is establish an early threat and then disrupt them. Delver of Secrets into Daze, Lightning Bolt. We're playing this one more like a mid-range deck, where we're like disrupting them first and then developing our threat. We do draw the Swamp though, which is kind of nice. So I'll lead on him to Torok in case they discard something even better to reanimate, and then take Oliphant. Oh well, that is pretty sick. Yep, turn 3, we've killed your thing, made you discard 2 cards, and now we have 11 power. They have 1 card in hand. This deck is just cruising. Mox Diamond. Discarding your card. And then we even just have more good follow-ups. Like Shielded Fury is an insane hand to have at this point. Alright. Very smooth. Honestly, no games were even that close. This deck was so strong. Yeah, I mean, it was just very consistent. Like, it had, especially post-board, if we were playing that sort of format, 3 1-mana discard spells and 4 1-mana removal spells, counting Dismember, is just, like, elite early interaction with, like, more interaction at 2. Then, like, a bunch of cheap threats that can take over the game. Good card draw with, like, Pyromancer, the One Ring, Preacher of the Schism, Baragoyf. Just, like, a really well-rounded deck. It's not, like, broken necessarily, but it's very consistent. Great interaction, great cheap threats, quick pressure. Kind of just doing everything you want to do in Vintage Cube. And can't argue with the results. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.